Good morning. This is Pat Ray from Pat's. I'm talking about partner abuse intervention today. This is for men and women. If you have joined our program, you know that this is about becoming nonviolent in all ways, not just physical. Okay? So grab a piece of paper and print your first and last name on the top of it. Put today's date, please. And I also need the type of group, which is PAIP, P-A-I-P. I need the topic, which is commitment to nonviolence. So, also, if you are paying for this yourself, I need you to call the office 217-954-1128, and you can pay over the phone by card, credit card, or debit. You can come to the office Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 1, or for 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. to drop off cash. Please bring exact change. You can mail at 300 South Broadway, Suite 110A, Urbana 61801. And that is made out to Pat's, P-A-T-S, check or money order. Okay, so today we're talking about, as I said, the commitment to nonviolence. Got my notes here. You will also be able to obtain any homework. You can email me, pat@changeisAchoice.org, and I will send you the homework assignment. You can text me at 217-766-9132. You simply put your answers on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and email it or text it to me, or you can drop it off at the office during the drop-off pickup hours. You can pick up homework, simply call me, let me know you're coming, and I will have it ready for you during the pickup drop-off hours. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about today is what Gandhi calls the nonviolence of the strong. He says, when you are courageous enough, strong enough emotionally and physically to be violent, yet you choose nonviolence and are committed to it. Choosing nonviolence. Many of us have been violent in many ways, mentally, physically, verbally, spiritually, economically, sexually, and of course, physically, all kinds of ways. We have played mind games. We have attempted to control and have power over others, getting them to do what we want them to do. We've done those things, man, woman, whoever we are. Most humans have done some of those things. We're going to break it down in a minute so you can get a better picture of what I'm talking about. So, going back to our point, we may be able to do all of those things. We are strong enough. We have the power to do it, but we choose not to. And that is the non-violence of the strong. Okay. All right. I want to talk about the types of violence. Many of you are familiar with this. This is something you will find on the Facebook page of Pat's Prevention and Treatment Services. You can also get a copy of it. I will email it to you or text it to you if you contact me. I'm going to go over some of the things that are on this wheel today, talking about the types of violence. So we know that there is more than one way to assert power and then be able to control others that is abusive and violent. One of those ways is using intimidation. Intimidation. I don't have to touch you. I don't have to physically harm you, but I can do things to make you afraid. Afraid. A look, action, a gesture, smashing things, destroying property of the other person, abusing their pets, and displaying weapons. All of those are ways that I can use intimidation. And again, this is abusive, trying to get people or forcing people to do what we want them to do. Another type is emotional abuse, using emotional abuse, putting the person down and making the person feel bad about themselves, calling them names, making them think that they are crazy, playing mind games, lying, trying to make them think things that are not true, manipulating, humiliating the person, and making them feel guilty. Those are forms of emotional abuse. Okay. There's another kind of abuse. It's called using isolation. And this is when we control what the other person does, who they talk to, who they see, where they go, what they read, limiting their outside involvement, being jealous, accusing them of having sex with other people, and doing that in order to justify our actions. Well, you've been doing this, making accusations. There is another form of abuse or violence that we use against other people, and that is minimizing, denying, and blaming. So we make light of the abuse. Well, you think that's abuse? I can show you abuse. Not taking their concerns seriously, saying it didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Shifting responsibility for abusive behavior. Well, if you just shut your mouth, I wouldn't have to hit you. Somebody needs to control you. Saying you caused it. Okay. Using children. This is a big one. Kind of one of my personal things that I focus on a lot. Kids come into this world, they're not asked. They don't ask to come here. Adults in their lives have power and control over them. The kid has to go where they are taken. They have to be involved in whatever we as adults put them in. And sometimes people use them to get even with or hurt the other person. You will read in the paper all the time where an individual has killed themselves and their children or killed the children in order to get back at the other person. If you read the news, you will see that a lot, very frequently. So using children, making him or her feel guilty about the children. Using the children to relay messages. Go tell your mom this. Go tell your dad this. Using visitation to harass the other person. Well, you won't get to see them. Or there's a scheduled visit and the person, the custodial parent, isn't there when the other parent shows up, calls and cancels, makes excuses, all of that kind of thing. Threatening to take the children away. I will take your kids and you will never see them again. These are all ways that we get people to do what we want them to do. We have the power and we use it to control the other person. The power, having the kids. Okay. Using male privilege. Now, what the heck is this? Using male privilege. Sometimes whoever is in charge in the house, if it in this case is a male, they use the other person as a servant, making all the big decisions themselves, acting like the master of the castle, and being the one to define men and women's roles. Another type is called using economic abuse, preventing him or her from getting or keeping a job, making him or her ask for money, giving him or her an allowance. Here's your $20 for the week. You better stretch it out. Taking his or her money, not letting him or her know about or have access to the family income. You say, well, I make the money. You may make the money, but when we commit in a relationship, we come together as partners, and each partner has a say in how money is spent. Using coercion and threats. Making or carrying out threats to do something to hurt the person, threatening to leave the person, threatening to commit suicide, to report him or her to welfare, making him or her drop charges, and making him or her do illegal things. Coercion or threats. I'm going to call DCFS and tell them you're smoking crack. Okay, those are just a few. In order to get the full list, you must contact me by email, phone, or text, and I will send you the full list. And it is your homework assignment to list those types of violence that you have used. So, ask yourself, how do I respect myself? How do I strive to communicate respectfully to others, my significant other, children, parents, family members? What things do I do to listen effectively to my family members? Who have I forgiven in my family? How do I respect all living things? How am I careful to recreate in a non-violent manner? How do I act courageously and challenge violence in all its forms? Okay, those are the questions for today to reflect on. And again, there is another sheet that I have. I need you to contact me to get that. This, because we are doing things online, does not mean that I do all the talking or I do all the work. Your participation is expected. And that means doing homework, turning in assignments, doing a progress note, and you will list 3 things you thought about, reflected upon, wanted to talk about, had questions about, and we can do a one-on-one session either through FaceTime, Duo, whatever you have, or we can do it over the phone. So I need you to contact me to get the rest of your homework, and I need to speak with you. Okay, you have a good day, and I hope that everybody is well. Thank you. Bye-bye.